Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. PSS students are hitting the classrooms tomorrow to start the 2019-2020 school year. Also tonight, we have details on the reburial of ancestral remains. And MVA's new managing director speaks out about financial issues following the declaration of emergency. In sports, the Marianas Bowl was filled with turnovers and they were not Apple. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
"48 hours. That's all we get in a week. But those 48 hours, we try to make them last forever. How? By filling in fast with all the right stuff. With a lot of laughter, a little drama, some adventure, and a whole lot of love."
Dad, Mom's here.
It happens pretty quick,
Bye, Dad.
but it's cool. Because the rest of the week, we talk about our plans
You want to go to the beach?
on how to make the next 48 hours last us a lifetime.
It's getting kind of late, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think I'm gonna go play bowling across the street.
I'm gonna go finish my run.
I'm gonna go get a smoothie.
Later, guys.
Later. Walk safe.
Mark, don't do it!
Bro, don't jaywalk because you don't have the right of way. Go use the crosswalk over there because you will have the right of way.
Thanks, bro.
Alright, man. Mark, wait! Here's a vest for added safety at night.
What vest? Oh yeah, so cars can notice me more.
Always use the crosswalk. Activate the pedestrian push button when available and wait for the walk signal. Make eye contact with drivers before you cross. Wear bright or reflective clothing to increase your visibility to drivers, especially at night.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They're an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
Hafa Day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Monday, September 2nd, 2019. School is back in session tomorrow for the public school system. KSPN sits down with CNMI PSS Education Commissioner Glenn Munya to hear what they expect for this year. It's the 2019-2020 school year, kicking off Tuesday for the public school system with 10,000 students returning to the classrooms in the CNMI.
We're excited to welcome our kids back to school. Of course, one of our biggest challenges is our financial situation. We are working with the legislature and the Secretary of Finance to try to get the funds that's needed to continue to operate the schools transferred to us. I know the Saipan Northern Island Legislative Delegation, or the SNILE Committee, are working on some plans right now to help us with that, take care of what needs to be taken care of.
There are still 5 schools that will be in double session this year, including WSR, FMS, Coblerville Elementary School, Oleai Elementary School, and San Vicente Elementary School, with Cagman and Cha-Cha beginning the first few weeks in double session.
We do have a couple of schools that need some a little more work to be done. I know that we were able to repair some of the roof at Francisco M. Sablon Middle School and OLEI. So what's pending is the interior of the buildings. We're anticipating if we can get those completed by November or December, then we will be able to get those schools back in full session. We do have, like I mentioned earlier, we do have some plans for the remaining schools that are in double session to possibly get out of double session by January. So when they return back from their Christmas break, they'll be able to get out of double session.
Munoz says several proposals will be presented to the board in the September meeting for ways to get these schools out of double sessions.
Once I've shared those plans with the board, we will be bringing it out to our teachers and our staff and also our parents and get their input. So we want to make sure that we get the stakeholders involved, get their input so that, it's successful. Whatever plans, we go with, we want to make sure that it's implemented successfully.
Munoz says 7 teachers are not returning this year, but replacements have been hired, and that PSS is not included in the Austerity Fridays, where school will continue the normal Monday through Friday schedule.
We're back every Friday. We are working. Our priority right now is to get our classrooms ready to open. And then I know that when we do open up our schools, we are going to be opening schools Monday to Friday. Hopefully that won't change. Again, we ask that the legislature consider our budget and what we have to work with and the amount of repairs that's required, so we don't have to go into further austerity cuts.
Munoz is asking for the community's cooperation in making the first day back to school a smooth process.
We are excited. We can't wait to welcome our kids, on all 3 different islands. We're ready to go. We do ask for everyone's cooperation, though. We all know first day of school or first week of school, there's going to be traffic. So we ask that parents bring their kids to the bus stop on time and early. If you are dropping your kids off to school, try to leave the house a little early, because we know that there are a lot of people that, may be confused, or even get stuck in traffic. We don't want the kids to come to school late. Also, we have our Students First newsletter that went out, I believe it was today, that has our bus schedules and our September breakfast and lunch menu. So take a look at the schedule. Who your bus driver will be, what time will be, pickup time, and what time is dismissal time. So all that information is, included in our Students First newsletter.
Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. The reburial of ancestral remains that were dug up from the location of the casino in Garapan are looking to be reburied by the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs within the next year around the same location.
We're trying to work through governmental avenues to address the necessary reporting for that collection, with a plan to rebury it at that site, because it's all from that same footprint in the future.
For the last 2 years, Saipan's Historic Preservation Office has been working to plan the reburial for the remains that were dug up from Imperial Pacific International's Casino Project site located in Garapan, and are working with the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs to have it done in the next 11 months.
There's been some evolution in that planning, and we have met with IPI representatives along the way as we've planned this out, and just for the record, they've been absolutely amenable every single meeting to the requests we've had for the reburial. I'll leave again those details to Rita to discuss. They're not all that complex. We are looking at a time frame of next June, July.
But it's not just the remains that were unearthed from the location of the casino that is being reburied.
We are looking not just at IPI, the remains that were unearthed at IPI. We have remains from previous developments going back 35 years. Then HPO is now starting to rebury. We do have a template that we developed a couple of months ago based on research. We went back and looked at historical accounts of ancient Chamorro funeral practices, and we took from the information that we found, and from there we developed the template. IPI's reinternment will be just one of many. And as a matter of fact, our first big one will be this year for the Surfrider Hotel. Then we have remains from Hawkwood, remains from Rhoda, remains from Honest Profit, remains from Half a Day Tower, and on and on. And those are kept in our repository. And repository is climate controlled. They are stored properly and respectfully.
Rita says the burial plan for the remains will follow ancient customs.
So they will be put in pandanus baskets, and the ceremony is very simple. And for IPI, because of the proximity to the shoreline, we are requiring that they have a concrete vault. We have not yet determined whether that vault would have a concrete floor and whether that would need to be sealed. We are working to measure the location to the mean high water mark, just to ensure that because of the rising and of the tides, that we don't have water coming from under and washing out the remains. And if we determine that that will not be the case, then they will be buried in there. The reason why it will have concrete walls will be to hold up the cover, and the cover is really for HPO's basically records and to prevent looting or disturbance of the grave. And it'll have a marker with a number for HPO for our records. So, and also we have given IPI specifications. So to put it simply, the cover has to be thick enough to stop heavy equipment from trying to dig in and break it open.
IPI is required to store the remains until HPO schedules the reburial. Rita says HPO's cultural resource specialists will open up the boxes of the remains and conduct another inventory to ensure what was placed inside is still there, including artifacts, before the reburial is performed. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. MVA's new managing director has dealt with financial issues following the declaration of emergency from Super Typhoon Yutu. She reflects on her first few months on the job.
What's been the best part of the job so far?
You know, being able to meet with all of our partners and coming together and trying to come up with creative ideas on how to market, the CNMI, especially for those who are looking to travel to new destinations. I believe that the Marianas has a high potential, and I want us to be able to share that with everybody else.
Any creative ideas? Anything new coming in the next year or 2 years?
We are focusing as well on our ecotourism and sports tourism. So that is one of the tourism aspect that many travelers are looking to do. And we're also trying to extend that to Tinian and Rhoda as well.
Coming up, we speak with the Bureau of Environmental Health about protecting the public's health during special gatherings. Find out more after the break.
Get the phone plan you're looking for at IT&E. Stay connected with the strongest, widest, and most reliable network in the Marianas. Stream, share, play, shop, and surf the web with super fast 4G LTE data. Whether you need just a few gigabytes of data to get by, or if you want to go further with unlimited data, there's a plan for you. You'll always get the best price. Visit any IT&E store or call us to learn more. IT&E. Explore your world.
Can you pick me up? I am tired. I am drowsy.
Guys, I'm heading to work.
Mom, you're mixing.
I'll take it after work. Junior? Yes? Bring me my medicine, please. Okay.
Mom, please, there's Pokemon back there. Please.
I'm trying to focus on the road. Do not distract me while I'm driving. You understand?
All workers have the right to a safe workplace. Employers must provide a workplace that is free from recognized hazards and comply with applicable OSHA standards, including proper reporting of injuries. Training needs to be done in a language and vocabulary employees can understand. And an OSHA information poster must be displayed prominently in the workplace. Workers, you have the right to raise a safety or health concern with your employer or OSHA without being retaliated against, and request an OSHA consultation of your workplace if you believe there are unsafe or unhealthy conditions. OSHA can help. Free assistance to identify and correct hazards is available to small and medium-sized employers without citation or penalty. So look out, speak up, and stay safe. Job safety and health, it's not only good practice, it's the law. Check out OSHA.gov or call 664-3154 or 3155.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Permits are ways for protecting the public's health and safety during special gatherings, and it's the goal of the Bureau of Environmental Health to ensure these are enforced. Festivals, celebrations, street markets, any gathering where booths are set up providing the public the opportunity to buy food or drinks requires a permit.
For temporary events, and that's mostly on weekends, Mayor's Celebration Festival is the longest one we have right now, but it's temporary event. The fee is if there's a abbreviated fees for that, temporary events, but they still have to follow all the requirements. If they have a kitchen, we'll need to go in and check the kitchen, and of course the booth is where we end up regulating. But it's all different events that is happening that we know of, the sanctioned events on the islands.
But there can sometimes be confusion on what kind of permits are required and for what locations.
These venues are very important, especially vendors like us, because we don't have a permanent location. We make money off of these venues, whether they're good weather, bad weather, good people show up or turn out. So every time we have to purchase another fee, makes us not go to another venue sometimes, because even though it seems like it's a minute amount of money, if I do all 22 a year or more, you're talking about thousands of dollars of extra fees to even try to sell at these places.
If the food establishment has a permanent location, though, Tagabuel states only one permit is required for the year.
For like you already established restaurant, most likely they have food handlers already, because food handler certificate is good for 1 year also. So we just, the price of it is, rather than the $90, it's $45, because we don't have to go back into the restaurant. It's already been inspected.
But if the establishment is temporary, meaning only appearing at events, a permit must be renewed before every event, which costs $90. And Public Law 12-48, the definition of a temporary food service is, quote, means a food establishment that operates for a period of no more than 30 consecutive days in conjunction with a single event or celebration, end quote. The law states for any person to operate a business without a valid and current sanitary permit is against the law. It states that this involves any establishment involving food and drink, temporary food service, food retail, wholesale and transportation operations, push carts, caterers, or motor vehicle vendors.
If you really are dedicated to here's a venue where you operate off your mobile car or truck, but if you're stationary on a temporary basis, couple of days, That's the law. Temporary events is specifically identified in the law.
All permits must be applied for at the Bureau of Environmental Health, located up on Capitol Hill. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Thank you, Ashley. Coming up, shark attack? Not really. It was a false alarm. KSPN2 takes a bite out of sports next.
Faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 2 Health Talk. I'm Dr. Tony Stearns of Marianas Medical Center. Over the past 6 months, we've talked about a variety of health topics that I hope have been both interesting and educational. Importantly, I hope that I have helped motivate each and every one of you to make some positive changes in what you and your family eat, in the amount and types of physical activities that you and your family do, and in your personal lives that help make you and your entire family healthier. I wonder though, how many of you have actually tried to implement some of the healthy changes I've talked about and suggested? How many of you have changed your diet in a healthy way? How many have started a new exercise program or increased your previous level of activity? And how many of you have tried to quit smoking? If so, congratulations. If not, why not? I hope that each and every one of you has made at least a few small changes in the choices you make about how you live your life. And I know that some of you have made great changes because I see the results when I see you in my office or out in the community. I'm encouraged by these successes to keep trying to motivate everyone to live life in a healthier way. But remember that only you can make these changes for you and your family, and the choice to do so is yours and yours alone. Ultimately, it really only matters to you and your family which way you choose to go. Do you choose to eat well, exercise regularly, achieve and maintain normal weight, quit smoking, and likely live a long and healthy life? Or do you choose to keep doing what you now know are not the healthiest choices and likely die unhealthy in 20 to 30 years before you should? Again, the choice is yours and the consequences are tremendous. Next week, I'll continue with some specific recommendations regarding food choices that I know will help you be a healthier person. Until then, thank you for joining me, Dr. Tony Stearns of Marianas Medical Center. Please join me again next week and have a healthy week.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, the 8th Marianas Bowl saw the Sinamai Sharks win streak against Guam stop at 1. Well, at least for 1 year, we could say we were defending champions. Welcome to the Saipan football season. Each year, people's canopies get fancier and more expensive, and so do the automobiles. Lots of camaraderie between these two squads before and after the contest. How you feel about today's game?
It feels amazing. I'm glad to be back on this island again. Way to represent our islands, Marianas. Viva Marianas!
Viva! No, it was not stormy at the 1 o'clock kickoff time at Airport Field. The Sharks one game a year when they play the Guam All-Stars for the bragging rights called the Marianas Bowl. This was bowl number 8. This year, Guam brought twice as many players as they sought to get that bowl back. Linebacker Nemia Vaiga feeling good to get those pads back on.
Feeling really good. The weather's good. Hopefully we have a good turnout.
Practice has been good. Turnout's good.
The last couple of weeks we've been showing up every evening, trying our best to present. And also we're trying to defend our title.
Yeah, we've never said that before. Guam won the first 6 bowls. Sharks won the Marianas Bowl 7 last year. And the best player on the field was Stuart Toilolo. He was unstoppable, running over Guam defenders, and the Sharks were counting on him again this year. All right, here we go. Opening drive, 2nd and 10. Toilolo goes up the middle for a 5-yard gain, but it was 4th and out for the Sharks. Stewart punts, shanks the ball off the side of his foot, one bounce, out of bounds, a perfect strike on that water bottle. First down, Guam snaps the ball over, way over the quarterback's head. Phillips falls on it for a 34-yard loss. 4th and 44, Guam punts the ball. All the Sharks had to do was let it go, and they would have excellent field position. Instead, they touched the ball. Guam fell on it, and it was first down Guam. Unlike last year, Guam brought a passing attack that shredded the Sharks' defensive secondary. This time, Phillips keeps it himself and punches it in for the first points of the game. Guam goes for the 2-point conversion, a pinpoint pass, and it was 8-zip. By comparison, the CNMI air attack was more successful in completing to the other team. A touchdown pass makes it 14-0 in the first quarter. Let's see if the Sharks could do anything on offense. Jerome Narita, he rolls right, doesn't see anybody open, tucks it, and picks up a good gainer. Second quarter, after the CNMI couldn't make it in, Phillips to Hatch, and the cut back to the house, and it was 20-0. 4th and long, Danny Aguto back to punt, and that should have been a roughing the kicker penalty, but there was no flag thrown. The ball bounces back to Aguto, and Guam never touches the ball. That punt was minus 8 yards, and I had never seen a shorter punt in my whole life, and I've seen 1,000 football games. Tough break here for the CNMI. Ref calls a penalty on Tololo, and he was cited for throwing a punch, ejected from the game, and just like that, the CNMI lost their starting running back and a linebacker. Guam added another touchdown in a driving rainstorm to make it 28-0. Sharks were trying to break the goose egg here. Narita to Derek Rangamar for a rare first down. CNMI threatening. Here we go. Got a chance. Oh, it's a botched handoff, and the ball goes over to Guam. You want a good picture? How about this? A swing pass to Hatch, and he turns the corner and hits pay dirt. The extra point, good. Guam wins 35-0. And after the game, guess what the teams did? Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Let's roll at Gold's Gym Saipan with group exercise for every body. Total Resistant Exercise, or TRX, helps develop your core and improve strength. And Zumba toning is probably the funnest way to get fit. The Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplements. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Tropical Depression 14W is formed north of Maginot. It's expected to pass the north of Paga and towards Iwo Jima later this week. The high temperature today was 88, the low 79, the heat index 103 briefly before it rained, the humidity 79%. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, isolated showers here and there, mostly there, and here too. All right, easterly winds around 10 miles an hour, high 87, low 78, seas 3 to 4 feet. Sunrise 4 past 6, a high tide at 10:24 in the morning, a low tide at 4:48, sunset 6:28.
All right, thank you, Bob, for that weather report. And I think it's time to wrap up this holiday by wishing everybody.
Non-Labor Day?
Everybody.
I think they should call it non-Labor Day.
That's true.
Because nobody works except
hey,
us.
we worked. We worked today. So I want to wish everybody a happy Labor Day out there. And thanks for watching. Tune in tomorrow night at 6.
Good night.